Why do we interact instead of staying alone? What is a good relationship? How to treat people in your favor? To find the answers, listen till the end. Greetings, listeners. Welcome to another podcast of Barbarian Loners. On this podcast, we'll discuss the ways of treating people, how to trust, how to build a mutual respect in our interactions with people, how to build a safe environment in which people can trust you, and all these hows are answered in this podcast. Stay with us till the end. First of all, why should we interact? What is the point of interacting with people? I should add that it's as vital and important as eating. You won't realize the importance until it's taken away from you. No matter how tough you are, remember, 2 brains will work better than 1. Your mind exaggerates difficulties when being alone. Anyway, now that you've half realized the importance of communication, let's dive into the rules of communicating with people. But before I start, you should remember that these rules are based on my personal experiences. They may not be organized, but I try to express what crossed my mind. Rule number 1, do not overvalue people. Valuing and looking up to people doing better than you is a sign of respect. I agree with that, totally. But overestimating them is a mistake. Your respect becomes worthless when it's shoved into someone's face. Treat and respect them as a human being, not a ladder leading you to success. That leads us to rule number 2. Consider company as a bonus, not a plan. There's a sad reality that we all must accept. Even the ones you adore will choose themselves over you. If a person spends time with you and you think the world of them, it doesn't necessarily mean that they would build the path of success for you. Remember, this works both ways. You must not build the path of success for some friend of yours either. Success amplifies the real character within them. And trust me, you do not want to see the real and hidden side of human beings. Because mostly it is not accepted in society. That's why not everybody is successful, because they don't deserve it. And you know what they say, you gotta deserve what you're about to get. So, the third rule, the rule number 3, is non-verbal is much more important than verbal. When we interact, our subconscious mind reflects our intentions and thoughts with our body language. This is not about identifying liars. It's about reading the human's body language in order to be one step ahead of people in communicating. For example, when someone is pacing and biting his nails, you will realize that not talking to this person is in your best interest. With that, you won't be wasting your time. Rule number 4, avoid keeping secrets to yourself. Silence will turn minor incidents into disasters. If you're offended in a relationship, you must express it. If you don't, you're confirming the fact that people can treat you by their standards. This actually reminded me of a quote from Nietzsche. All hidden secrets will become poisonous, he said. Another tip to remember is be frank and mean what you say. Be a man or a woman of your word. Rule number 5. Interact with a wide variety of people. The so-called seeing through people comes from interacting a lot. Doesn't matter who you are and how successful you are, you must be able to size people up and avoid wasting your time. Salesmen know this pretty well. For example, when a nervous, clumsy guy enters a room, the salesman would not waste their time on trying to sell something to this guy. They know it quite well that not only isn't he a customer, but he's a waste of time as well. All of this is because they're capable of seeing through people without spending time with them. You can purely sense it when a self-made guy walks in, if you have the ability. And that ability will be achieved through various interactions. Well, the sixth rule is, by all means, do not depend on people. Do not think the world of them. It won't feel for you. This one's a bit controversial. I am aware of that, but let me straighten this out. In a world full of hatred and betrayal, you must not rely on temporary people. The ones who are there just for a season or a chapter of your life. You must not rely on the permanent ones either. As I mentioned, value the company you have, but keep in mind that nothing lasts forever. Not even you, yourself. My advice is, you must have a plan consisting of nobody but yourself. Because the success first occurs in your mind, then in reality. Afterwards, you should start using people's connections in your favor. Is the rule number 7. Feel comfortable around new people. Treat them like a friend you haven't seen for a long time. Now that meeting people and feeling comfortable around them takes time, I know it. By feeling comfortable, I mean feeling free to having a conversation and avoiding creating awkward moments. That will take a while for you to get used to having such random conversations, but we must remember that it's the logical way of finding new company. Now, to this podcast, I invite you to listen to a piece of poem regarding this subject written by our poetess here, Ava Musavi. Stay solid till the next podcast. I will see you till the next one.